Hey everybody, this is Steve Moore, owner of Run More, this fabulous brick and mortar running shop in Westminster, Maryland. We have a really big shoe update today. This is the Altra Lone Peak 6. It's so awesome, it's flying out of my hand. It's the Lone Peak 6. This is coming out in January of 2022. We're recording this in early December. Got a chance to see this in advance. I'm really excited about it. Just a quick little starting point here. Thank you so much for watching our channel. If you're new to it, we really try to do a good job of giving more information about each shoe. You know, we don't try to get into the good and bad. I just want to give you as much information that so you can make an intelligent decision on what shoe lines up best for you. If you have questions on any models, feel free to leave it down below and we'll get back to you as soon as we can. We also, if you're in need of gear, feel free to check out our shop. If you enter promo code RUNMORE, just one word, you'll save 10%. We'll ship it out for free. And give us a like and subscribe. It certainly helps us find other people out there. So, the Altra Lone Peak 6. Altra has been out for just over 10 years now. They actually started with the original Lone Peak. So this is sort of the new Lone Peak 5, but in the throwback color. So this is sort of what the very first Altra shoe looked like, and it was their Lone Peak. So now we're up to the Lone Peak 6. Altra also has road stuff, but in the entire catalog and all of the Altra shoes out there, the Lone Peak is still their #1 shoe out there. A lot of people come in the shop and think that they just do trail stuff. This is the one that most people come in asking us about because it's the one that sort of started the brand, and it has become so popular out there in just the masses. If you're not accustomed to Altra at all, just a couple little things that separate Altra from some of the other brands that we carry there. Altra is a zero-drop shoe. So while most of the shoes that you're running and walking and all that good stuff have an elevated heel, Altras are a zero drop. So the heel and toe are set on the same platform to give you more of a balanced feel when you're walking and running and all that good stuff. It also has the rounded toe box. Again, makes sense. It's funny when people come in and we start talking about different models and we say like the reason why this is rounded, and you just sort of have that aha moment of like, well, that is how my foot is shaped. So it makes sense to have a foot-shaped toe box. I don't put my hand in a glove that's shaped like that. Why would I put my foot in a shoe that's not shaped like my foot? So those are two of the characteristics that really separate Altra from some of the other brands that we work with right now. So the Lone Peak 6 is their cushioned trail shoe. It's a mid-cushion trail shoe. So even though while you're looking at this, it looks very low profile, it looks like almost just like a really light minimal shoe, there's actually a lot of cushion and a lot of guts inside this shoe. Specifically, this shoe has what's called their Ego midsole. That is their charged rubber midsole. It's very soft and it's got great energy return. So there are other shoes out there on the wall, you know, like a Hoka and such, that looks like it's got tons and tons of cushion. This actually has a lot of cushion to it. It doesn't appear that way, but it's really soft and plush when you put your foot in and step down onto it. It's always fun when I give this shoe to people and they want like a nice, soft, big cushion shoe, and they'll give me one of those eyes when I pull this shoe out because it looks like it's going to be something that's going to be really minimal. It's not. It's great. Inside this shoe, besides the great fluffy midsole, it has a STONEGUARD. So this is a targeted specific STONEGUARD that has different aspects to it that are going to kind of help you be safe out there. It's integrated into the shoe, so if you're stepping on stuff that's really sharp and rocky, this is going to give you a little bit more protection underfoot. I'm not saying go put on a Lone Peak and jump on a super sharp rock and see how great that is underfoot. It's not going to do that. But if you are in an area, if you're out here, like we're near the Appalachian Trail, people that are out there doing through hikes or doing, you know, stuff like the JFK 50 miler and that kind of stuff, it's going to give you a little more protection because that trail is super rocky. So wherever you are, if you're in a spot that's super rocky, it's going to give you a little more protection than a shoe that doesn't have a STONEGUARD integrated into it. This shoe also has tremendous drainage. And if you're looking specifically at our last Lone Peak, the Lone Peak 5, the drainage on this is very different. This one just had sort of some drainage cap through the toe cap on it, where this guy's coming in with drainage all through the front, all through the top. It's going to give you a little bit better protection. And if you've never really been into a trail shoe, it's crazy. The drainage on a good trail shoe is so crazy. You know, they do make waterproof versions of this, but really, if you're just going through a place that has some casual streams you're going through or super muddy areas, it's amazing how much this kicks out water. Really, any shoe that has good drainage to it, how fast your foot can dry out if you're going through some wet stuff. So there are people that just assume if they're going to a place that has some stream crossings in it that they need like an all-weather stuff, and there's certainly applications where you may need that. But for most of your everyday trail running and hiking, a standard shoe with good drainage is going to do its job, and this has tremendous drainage through it. One of the other things that I liked about this shoe that's changed from previous models is the new design on our lacing pattern here. So again, I'm going to hold up old Lone Peak number 5 compared to Lone Peak number 6. And what you're going to find is that our little piece here that's going to connect to your gaiter is now gone. You still have the option on the Lone Peak 6 to put in a gaiter you're just going to put it right here through this piece right here, and it's going to connect on the back on this little Velcro piece here. So a gaiter is just that piece that kind of goes up around your shin there. I always call it a turtleneck for your shin. It's going to protect you from kind of keeping any of the muckety muck and riffraff outside of your foot when you're out there hiking and running and all that good stuff. So you still have that option there. You're just missing that piece. You might also notice that there are some eyelets here on the side. So we have our original sort of lacing pattern here, but now we have some additional options here. So that's great. If you're somebody who has like a real high instep, sometimes you might custom lace it. We have people that will come in and feel like they don't have enough depth into a shoe, and any shoe out there, and it feels like they're getting pushed here. When we have people come in and say, like, my foot gets real red on the top, and I can't find a shoe that has that depth to it, we'll do what I call, it's called boxing, where you'll kind of go up and across as opposed to going every other. We'll do like a different type of lacing pattern to sort of alleviate some of the pressure on the top of foot. So now by having these additional eyelets here, you can kind of do your own pattern, whatever feels right to you. So you can either be somebody that gives yourself a little bit of extra depth to it for a high instep, or if you don't and you want to have it really nice and tight here and just feel yourself snug and secure, you have that option too. So that's just a nice little update there to give a little more customization on your foot and the lacing pattern that works best for you. They've also changed the way that our little heel strap here is. So we've gone from more of a vertical to a horizontal. I know it seems silly, but it does make it a little bit easier to get on. And the other reason why they did this, it's easier to sort of hang if you're somebody who's through hiking, or if you're somebody who wants to be able to just let your shoe dry out a little bit. You have a different option on doing that. And it's going to get your foot and your shoe just a little bit more dry. It's just a little bit more of an update. I like that. It's just little things that they're doing to be creative, to give yourself a little bit better experience on their trail shoe. One of the biggest questions that we always get with Altra stuff is the fit. One of the nice things when they came out, again, is having that rounded foot-shaped toe box. There are different models with different levels of width to it. And Altra has really forever just had one width per shoe. On the last version, Lone Peak 5, they did come out with a wide version. It was the first time that they had sort of a standard and a wide fit shoe. Last year in 2021, we saw stuff like the Lone Peak and the Torin, which is a road shoe that had a standard and a wide. Coming back with the Lone Peak 6, they'll have a standard and a wide. I'm going to do a quick color switch here. So this is one of the men's colors, and here's a female color. They're going to have a standard and a wide. They're only going to have one male color and one female color that's going to be available in wide. It's going to be a black version on the men's and navy on the women's. So you can have a standard fit or a wide fit. While we're talking about the widths, going back to the different widths of Altra stuff, they've now categorized their shoes so you can get a better sense of what works for you. Because I'll tell you, most people watching here, as I see it in the comments and people that call and reach out, they say, I've been following Altra and the shoes have gotten more narrow and blah, 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 blah. Totally get it. But now, just for every one of those people, we have someone that comes in and say, I want to try Altra, but my foot's a little too narrow, and I always feel like I'm flip-flopping around those things, and I don't like the way that fits. So they're trying to obviously cast a wide net out there to find a shoe that lines up for each different customer's foot profile. This is what's called the OG. It's an original fit. So if you've been with Altra going back 10 years, and you're more used to like a really rounded foot box, an original fit shoe is going to be the best option for you. So that's what the Lone Peaks are. It is an original fit. They also have stuff now, I'm going to do just a quick little side-by-side here. Stuff like the Superior and like the new Timp are going to be called more of a standard fit, which is a little bit more narrow. And then we're going to have stuff coming out that's going to be a slim fit. So you're going to be able to see distinctions, and we're going to have it on our website when you're looking for shoes that you'll be able to say, like, look, I like the Ultras, but I need a really wide one. Great. So go to the Lone Peak and go for the original fit shoe. It's going to be that raw, traditional rounded toe box. If you feel like you're swimming in an Altra, fantastic. Find a model that has that slim fit, and you'll still have a rounded toe box, but it's not quite as aggressively wide as some of the other stuff out there. The midsole. The Ego midsole, the great fluffy midsole on this. We're also seeing them differentiate shoes by how much of it that's in there. So you're going to have stuff that has just your regular Ego midsole, which is this, your mid-cushion shoe. It's going to have their standard charged rubber. And then they're going to have stuff that's going to have more. They're going to have the Max Ego midsole. So they all are using that same charged energy return, soft, plush feel, but still got some bounce to it, but different levels of it. And we had seen on some of the previous Altra shoes, some shoes had Egos, some shoes had different other materials on the inside, just regular like Quantix midsoles and such, but now we're seeing a more unified Ego, but different levels of it, from super plush to max. So even stuff like, I'm going to do a quick sneak here, this is the Timp 4 that's coming out in spring 2022. Fantastic update. We're going to have a video on this soon, but you can see the stack height's different. The midsole on this is different than this. Also an Ego, but an Ego Max. So this is going to be a little bit more plush, a little bit more to it. Not just the fact that it's a taller stack height, but a different style of the Ego midsole in a Timp versus the Lone Peak. So now we still have our awesome Max Track outsole to it. This is going to give you just a better experience. It's going to be a little bit better grip. Great for mud, great for all that stuff, and even the way like the tread patterns on here, it's designed to help kick off mud. So if you're in an area that's really muddy, the outsole on this is going to give you just a little bit more opportunity to kick off all the crap when you're running, so you're not just having a big caked in feel here. And again, if you've always been somebody who uses road shoes on trail, and I do a lot of trail running, and there are people that just feel better in a road shoe for whatever reason, it is a big difference going from a road shoe to a trail shoe by having a better outsole to it. Not just for a better experience for grip, but it does. You can see those people that come off and it's almost just totally caked on and they kind of slap their shoes together. You know, they're doing this at the end of their trail run and you're seeing all the crap falling off their shoe. Big advantage having a real outsole on a trail shoe here. So that's our Lone Peak. This is great for somebody who's doing anything from, I say, a mile to really an ultra marathon. And again, going back to like the local big 50 miler in our general area is the JFK 50 miler. A lot of people wearing the Lone Peaks out there because it's a shoe that you can do everything in. It's so odd to see this shoe and think that it's not enough cushion or like it doesn't seem like it's going to be great for those long stuff. We have tons of people that come here looking for a through hike shoe that end up with this because again, it's not too heavy. And it's got the protection of a STONEGUARD. It's got the drainage. It's got a little bit of everything out there for you. And again, it's not very heavy. So like on the women's side, we're only talking about 8.4 ounces. On the men, it's 10.4. So there's really not like a big clunky trail shoe. And some of the other stuff out there on my wall is sort of heavy, is sort of awkward the way that it's built. And it feels very heavy that you wouldn't want to necessarily run in it. Maybe you want to hike in it. So now you have a shoe that you can run and hike in and give you protection for both. They will have options in this in an all-weather. They'll have options for this in a high top. They'll have options for this in a wide. It's going to be their most popular shoe for next year. It just always is. It's a great shoe, and it comes in so many different models because it is popular. Thank you so much for watching our channel. Give us a like and subscribe. Hit us up for any gear, and feel free to reach out to us with any questions. We like getting it. It's fun for us. It's really enjoyable for us to call and say, hey, I'm in Wisconsin, and I have a question between Model X and Model Y. We're here. Stay safe out there. Happy running, and we'll see you again real soon. Stay tuned for more great Ultra reviews and other stuff on our wall that we'll be talking about very soon. Bye.